Hey guys, how's it going? So today I want to talk about No Man's Sky again, but I want to actually discuss mods. Now when I say mods, I don't mean anything like a modification that would be to any item in the game. I'm talking about modifications to the actual game, No Man's Sky. Now the best example that I can think of where mods were implemented into a game is Minecraft. And I'm using this example in the hopes that a lot of people know about Minecraft and its ability to be modded very extensively. But essentially, once the doors are open to the modding community, people can go absolutely crazy and do basically anything they want in the game. And of course, what I found to be great about having mods in a game is that people other than the developers can add content to the game itself and make it more enjoyable. And what's particularly great about Minecraft is there was actually so much content added. If you compare, all the mods combined to the base game, the vanilla game basically has no content in comparison. And that's really saying a lot because you can play Minecraft for maybe over 100 hours with the base game and still find it pretty enjoyable. Now, Minecraft as the base game actually had plenty of content in it. Don't get me wrong, there was plenty to do in the game, but ever since mods had been an option, I would say there's hundreds of times, maybe even 1,000 times as much content in the game because people other than the developers can work on the game and improve the game, adding a lot more content, making the game, last a lot longer. Now, No Man's Sky is coming out on PS4 and PC if I'm not mistaken, so I do believe PC will have a bunch of mods eventually for No Man's Sky, but what I really want to see is mods for PS4. And I'm saying this because one of my favorite games, Fallout 4, is supposedly having mods added to the game, and that is really just going to open a huge door for console players. And myself being pretty foreign to mods, I am pretty excited for that to come, but I think it would be amazing if a sandbox game like No Man's Sky also had the option to have mods implemented. I know for a fact that Hello Games is doing a great job developing the game, and there's going to be a ton of stuff to do, especially trying to get to the center of the universe. I really want the game to last quite a while, and I really want to enjoy playing. I don't just want to kind of, reach the center of the universe and then just kind of have it fall off the edge. Now, I don't see No Man's Sky being boring after you reach the center of the universe at all. I think there's always going to be something for you to do, something for you to explore. But if you allow mods in No Man's Sky, the amount of content you'll see is going to be just as infinite as the universe itself. Now, obviously, you can draw some similarities between Minecraft and No Man's Sky, even though the game isn't out yet. Both have their procedural nature, and they're both open sandbox games. And after playing a game for a while, the content of course gets dull. And this of course happened with Minecraft, and so people started making mods for the game and started to freshen it up a little bit after the initial content got kind of boring. Now the content getting stale for No Man's Sky would not even be an issue if mods were available because you'd have a constant stream of new and improved content coming to the game. Now, other than just discussing the idea of there being mods in the game, I kind of wanted to share some of my thoughts on what some really great mods would be, of things that we haven't necessarily seen or been confirmed in the game yet. Now, the first mod I want to bring up that may actually contradict the sole nature of No Man's Sky is going to be building. And by building, I mean none other than gathering resources and crafting yourself some type of base to live in. Now, of course, you don't want to build yourself a base and then hide under a rock in terms of the entire galaxy for the rest of the time that you'd be playing the game. That would of course go against everything that No Man's Sky is about, and it would pretty much just be kind of a waste of a game, to be honest. So building a permanent base is definitely not a good idea, but what I was thinking of is building outposts. Something like a small house that you can come back to if the planet has a really rich amount of resources, or there's an alien faction you want to trade with over and over again. Or maybe the landscape is just beautiful and you want to build some kind of house on top of like a mountain or something. Those are all pretty viable options, and I think the game would just be a lot more fun, for me at least, if they had some type of building or construction in the game. So we already know in No Man's Sky that you have the availability of a spaceship, which allows you to fly to different planets and space stations, and of course different solar systems and galaxies possibly. But what if there was a mod that allowed you to have a land vehicle? Now, a land vehicle would be very cool. You could traverse the terrain a little bit faster than just walking or running, and you could, explore more of the planet that you just landed on. But let's go even further with vehicles to use on the surface. What about sea vehicles, or maybe even submarines? There's supposed to be oceans in the game, underwater caves possibly, so, you know, you can go as far as you want with this. Going back to Minecraft as a comparison, if you look at the base game, all the content in the very beginning of the game, it's pretty standard, it's kind of like Stone Age tools and things. But what people have done with mods is they've actually made the craziest things. I've seen not only things like jetpacks, but also teleporters, portal guns, and even mining lasers. Now, what's funny about mentioning mining lasers is there's actually one of those in No Man's Sky, so that would not be a needed mod to the game. But just think of all the useful mods that you could see in No Man's Sky that maybe the developers just hadn't gotten around to making or didn't even think of in the first place. I think overall No Man's Sky is going to be an absolutely insane and amazing game when it first comes out, but I'm just kind of thinking for the future here. There's been so many games that I've just loved to play, and it really breaks my heart when they just kind of start to get a little bit boring and I, stop playing them, move on to something else. I'd really love to keep playing the game, but there's, in the end, just pretty much nothing more to do. So hopefully by implementing mods, this won't happen to No Man's Sky, and like I said before, the content can be just as infinite as the universe. And with that being said, this brings us to the end of the video, so hopefully you guys found it entertaining. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below, as well as your comments on what mods you think should be implemented into No Man's Sky. I'd really love to see your comment down below because more often than not, everyone has their own unique and interesting ideas. You may also want to subscribe because I'll be uploading videos similar to this up until the release of No Man's Sky, and then, of course, after the release, I'll be playing it and uploading the content that I find interesting to you guys. So once again, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.